Hello there and welcome back to Satisfactory. Yes, we're back on Satisfactory once again, going to be continuing where we left off last time on that Ficsmas factory. So also a Merry Ficsmas to you all, a Merry Christmas, as well a Happy Holidays, if you will, to you and yours. So if you know, celebrating it or have celebrated it, hopefully it was a good one as well. So. But yeah, like I said, I didn't expect it to be a two-parter. I was going to do it all in one shot, but then I just ran out of time. And of course, we need to spend that time with our family and friends. So that's what we ended up doing. And unfortunately, I got extremely tired. And as soon as I got the video, edited and everything, I just went to bed. So it's just like, well, that's just how it goes. But anyway, without further wasting your time, let's go ahead and get on into it. Let's go. Alrighty, and here we are over in our Ficsmas factory that we were working on. So yeah, we're just going to be finishing up building this factory. There isn't a whole heck of a lot left. It was the main building was the focus of this, as well as we're going to do some mod stuff once we get the factory done. But for now, we'll say that everything you see here so far can be done without mods. The only mod that I really have available, that I'm mainly using anyway, is Control L. And this is just so that we can pause time, put in the 12 number so it's noon all the time. For recording purposes, of course. Yeah, it's Skywise. That's a pretty awesome mod. And we also got the Flex Splines mod on here, of course, because you can see these belts are a bit longer than they appear to be. So, but we'll say everything that's going into this Ficsmas factory can be done in vanilla. So we won't be using mods to make any of that. I will make sure of that. But yeah, so over here we built our temporary Ficsmas factory. This was so we could progress through the MAM tree, as well as we got everything in the MAM tree completed for Ficsmas. So. We go over here to the Ficsmas holiday. You can see the MAM tree has been completed on this game. This is also a creative game, if you didn't notice. Yeah, this is a creative game, so we're just kind of hanging out and having a good time. I didn't want to have to build it on my world, which is not only incredibly laggy, but I would need all the materials and stuff like that. And I didn't want to turn that game into a creative mode game either to ruin it. So we're on a brand new game. Also, the calendar. This is the calendar 100% completed, so that way you can see where all the numbers are. Pause the video if you like, in order to find all the different numbers. They're all highlighted, of course, because we did 1 through 25, because 25 is the last one, so, and that already happened. So you should be able to complete your calendars if you haven't already. Definitely do it before when is it? It's January something or another. Is when the Ficsmas event ends. And just take a quick photo of that. Okay, so for later. Because what I'm going to do is I'll probably put that as the thumbnail. Oops. There's something really weird about this calendar as well. Like if you look at the calendar here, the calendar on the wall has like bits of it missing. Like it's really weird. And then you look at the calendar, there's the full calendar. So yeah, really strange. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Oops. But yeah, like I said, we have everything unlocked for the Ficsmas. We're even making Wonder Stars. This is incredibly inefficient of a factory. We're also making fireworks too, so we're getting those uploaded if we actually type in. Actually, we can probably just scroll down. You can see we're making the sparkly, the fancy, and the sweet fireworks. So if you want to know basically what you're going to be looking at as far as production goes, here is the snowballs. So snowballs take actual snow. These, the actual snow just takes gifts. The Ficsmas tree branches just takes the gifts as well. And these are all summer slipping, by the way. The candy canes just take the gifts. And like I said, it's incredibly inefficient. It's our temporary factory just to push us through the MAM to unlock stuff for us. We got the Ficsmas bow, which also just made out of Ficsmas gifts. Same with the red ornaments and the blue ornaments. Those are in the smelters. And then the foundries, you're going to be making the copper ornaments or the gold ones. And then also in a foundry, you're going to be making the iron ornaments or the silver. And obviously they take iron or copper ingots and iron ingots respectively towards those recipes. And then you take your iron and your your iron and your copper, or your gold and your silver ornaments, and you combine them together in an assembler to make the ornament bundle. Then you take your ornament bundle. This is getting complicated. Then you take your ornament bundle plus your Ficsmas tree branches, and you make wreaths out of those. Then you take your wreaths plus your candy canes, and then that makes the Ficsmas Wonder Star. And like I said, incredibly inefficient. I just threw it together just to get us through the MAM last episode. So if you haven't seen last episode, definitely go back and watch it. But yeah, so that makes our Ficsmas Wonder Stars, which we had only made 23. So I kind of just fast-tracked us through that. You need, in order to complete the MAM tree, you need 500 Wonder Stars. So unless you've got a big factory going, you're going to be there a while. So while that's all going, and like I said, we have completed it as well, which is pretty good. I think we got everything unlocked in here. I'm pretty sure we do. Yeah. Anyway. Fun times, fun times. Okay, so what we were working on over here was the ability to make this. So this is what we got done as far as the actual Ficsmas factory that we're going to be working on today. As well as we've got these little lifts that I kind of made into a blueprint. So we got like a floor hole there, and then you've got the lift here, and then a floor hole here, and the lift here. Now, why is that placed like that? Because when you're placing a lift, the backside of the lift is always going to be on the backside of the intake or the output port, whatever you want to call it. However you're placing your lift, it'll always be on the backside. As you can see, here's like the top portion of it. But if you place a floor hole in between the two, you can put it up against a wall like that, which actually makes it look pretty nice. And then of course we got a lift going back into the thing, and then that's pushing it into our containers. So this is where our final products are going to be made. It's going to be made in here. Obviously, a lot of this is not finished, so this is kind of the inner outer wall, I guess you could say. So our lifts do come in through the base, and then they go into this, obviously, and they go all the way around to each of these containers. That's what we worked on last time as well. And then if we go inside, oh, one of those is painted green. Hold on. Fix that. Oh, okay. And we also have a light in here, kind of clipped into the ceiling. There. The illusion is complete. No. And I did kind of a dome ceiling because I thought that looked pretty cool. I will do this. Why does it want to? It wants to paint the tree. I don't want to paint the tree. Whatever. But yeah, so each one of these is going to house the item. So basically, it's like a Ficsmas ball, essentially. And then above this, we're going to put the sign of what's being sent there, so that you can grab it out of the storage container, as well as you'll be able to see it here displayed on the, you'll see it displayed on the belt as well, which will be pretty nice. As well as behind here, or not behind here, but actually, we could put a smart splitter there and put the dimensional depots on top. That's actually not a bad idea. I was going to put the dimensional depots below, which would also work. I guess if the top doesn't work, we'll put them below. But yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. We can definitely get a splitter in between there. Now, I'll have to rebuild these lifts in order for it to connect. But yeah, we can definitely make that work. Well, what I'll also have to do is I'll have to put the splitter... I'll have to push the splitter backwards so that there's enough room to put the belt in between. Actually, let's give that a... You know what? Let's give it a try. Why not just talk about it? Why just talk about it? Why not just build it? Okay, so smart splitter. Smart splitter, there you are. Because we're going to need a smart splitter. Because I want these uploaded to the dimensional depot as well. So this is as close as we'll be able to get with our smart splitter. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Put in our smart splitter there. And I can't redo the blueprint because then I'd have to replace... I'd have to replace all of those blueprints. So we'll just have to do this manually. Then we'll have to remove the lift, reconnect it in. Can you hear the snap? That does mean it works. And we can always test. Oh, we can always test it too. And then we want. Oh yeah, we can also paint the belts now, which is gonna be nice. Because we have the skins, the premium Ficsmas skin, which does that work on belts? I don't remember. I don't remember from year to year what we can all do. Hold on. Let's go out. Let's go out over here. The premium Ficsmas skin might be for vehicles. Actually, yeah. The basic Ficsmas skin. There we go. Yeah. So that's for belts. All right. Cool. Speaking of vehicles, I don't think they've added any new vehicles paintable. I think it's only this truck still. Yeah, it might be only this truck still. Let's try the Explorer. Yeah. And even the basic skin as well doesn't. Yeah, unfortunately. Still only this truck, which is quite sad. I was hoping for them to add in. I don't think they did anything with the drone. Or the drone port. I don't usually mess with drones a whole heck of a lot. Oh, the drones actually get it, though. Why did the drones get it? Okay, what about the tractor?
Tractors can use any type of fuel.
Yeah, I've completed the game, apparently, but I have not placed down a tractor. That's funny. Nope, not basic skin. Nope, and not that skin either. Okay. Try. Hate this fly mode. I really do. The fly mode for creative games is just it needs to be changed. I'm gonna need a bit of track. These used to have a skin, by the way. They don't anymore though. Nope. Which is really sad. I remember when the trains used to have like wreaths and stuff on them way back when. Pretty sad. Trains are my favorite mode of transport, and they don't have, have a skin for that. Yeah, look. We'll paint the belts. Yeah, I don't think that works on that either, or that. Same with the machines. Like, why don't the machines have a skin? You'd think they would have added that in there. Like nothing else has a skin. Just a few vehicles and the belts, which is pretty sad, to be honest with you. I would have really loved to have machines have their own Ficsmas skins and stuff like that. Like, that would have been beautiful. We'll just stick with the colors though. So I did a bit of a darker green as well up here. The lighter green is for the machines, so they kind of pop out. Having that lighter green on here was just way too weird. It was a very bright green dome, we'll say. Also, if you may remember as well, inside our Ficsmas tree, we do have a couple of connectors hidden within the tree. We may have to remove the tree in order to place those. Yeah. And also, speaking of that, let's go ahead and replace that. It'd be nice if you completed the Ficsmas stuff, but you could place the Ficsmas buildables all year round. Once you've completed the MAM tree, that would have been cool. I would have gladly been like, yes, let's do it. Like, some people leave their Christmas decorations up all year round, so why can't we do that? I could put up Christmas decorations any time of year I want. And I may look weird, but at least I'm allowed to do it. Okay, anyway. So yeah, basically like that. Oh yeah, and we have the gift trees as well available, so we can finally put these down. There's the gift trees. Okay. Yeah, we were gonna put them here, weren't they? Or weren't we? Yeah, we're going to put them here. Yeah, we're going to put them here, and then we're going to put this little thing. Now, here's a nice little tip for you, if you do not know. And I covered this in last episode too, but clear the blueprint designer. You can place certain things year-round, by the way. Also, there's a bit of a highlighting bug. There we go. You can place things year-round if you save it as a blueprint. Blueprints stay forever, so, yeah. What you can do is you can place yourself a Ficsmas gift tree in the blueprinter. You can't... I don't think you can place the big tree. No, the big tree's too big. Actually... yeah, it just says partially overlapping designer. What about the... I don't think I've ever tried the Mark III, because I've never had the Mark III unlocked. I don't have this unlocked in my single player world. Let's give it a try though. Oh, there's a noticeable bit of lag there. Okay, place the gift tree. Oh, you can place the Ficsmas gift tree. Okay, so that's pretty nice to know. So only in the Mark III can you do that, which is really weird. You can't place that in the Mark II at all. Yeah, it says it's overlapping, but it fits within the box just fine. So only the Mark III can be saved. Or only in the Mark III can that be saved. Then you can place your Ficsmas gift trees wherever you want. But yeah, the reason we're over here at the blueprinter, though, is so we can go ahead and place down a Ficsmas gift tree. I'm actually going to do this, too. Foundations. Let's place the floor hole for this, too. That'll save me a bit of time. Okay, so Ficsmas gift tree. And then, yeah, we can't paint this. Okay, we can do... what color do we want? Red's pretty nice. There's already a lot of blue down there, so... and there's a lot of green, so we'll do red. Okay. We'll go ahead and place that, and we'll go ahead and place ourselves a floor hole here. So that, because it's going to go directly below the ground. Oh, you know what? I don't have that placed on the outside of this circle. What if I just leave the, I just leave the foundation in there? Usually I'd remove the foundation, but... foundation is weird. Foundation. Change this over to asphalt. So then, it's really hard to see, but there is a line that I want a very specific way. Okay, and then we can go ahead and grab ourselves this. And we're using Mark 5s because I have not messed with Mark 6 yet in my single player world, and I'd rather not get ahead of that, so. Oh yeah, we should still do red, I think. There you go. Yeah, because the Ficsmas lifts don't have, or the lifts don't have a skin, so. Yeah, and that'll save me a bit of time. Okay, cool. Alright, there's a reason I'm removing that. We'll go organization, no, we'll go architecture. Grab ourselves a painted beam. Okay, how high do I want it? Probably, let's go 12. That is the middle. Yep. Okay. We just want this. I think that's in the middle. Let's check. Yep, that's in the middle. Perfect. Ah, I actually still needed those. It doesn't matter. I can do this. It's like, actually, I still needed those. Then we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves a Mark III outlet. Then what we're going to do is connect that to that, and connect that to that. Okay. Then we'll grab ourselves our Ficsmas gift tree. Organization. No, sorry, Ficsmas tab. Ficsmas gift tree. Go ahead and put that back. regular. Good. Okay. We might lower that a bit. It's a bit too high. You can clearly see it, and we don't want that. Back to architecture. Okay, I'm gonna say. Okay, before I build the connectors, I might test it first. I should have tested it. I should have I'm really showing that I know what I'm doing in this game. You know. Remember, I've got 4,200 hours. I'm really showing off my knowledge and my building skills here. I'm also trying to do this quickly too. I'm like kind of all over the place. Over here, skip 3. Back. I might do just a connector actually. Yeah, it's just too much. Okay. Alright, we'll do just a connector then. Actually, that might be what I've already done. That might be what I've done before. Alright, that's easy to do. Wait, that was, I didn't pay attention. That was 10. Okay, so 10 meters there. Perfect. Yeah, I think any higher and it's just too high. Yeah, I remember what I did last time. Alright. So then we'll pull us a piece like that. And then we'll go power. We'll grab ourselves a power connector. Would it look better like this? Yeah, lower it down. Okay. Now we can go ahead and put our tree back and see how that looks. Okay, we might be able to go a bit higher like that. All right. Easy fix. Back into architecture. Pull out a beam again. I'm thinking this height. Yeah, this height might be. Oh, and oops. If you want to know how to build this circle, you can build this circle, this entire circle, based off of the last episode. We showed everyone how to build circles and 3 different methods. So this is the best method, in my opinion. This one's not from center. This one's actually building the outside of the circle first. This circle is from center. This one's pretty good too. It's just with the outer edge you get a little gap. And then this one's using the catwalk method. And this is the biggest circle you can build with the catwalk method without having to modify it further. So, like this one we'll have to modify as well because we made it bigger. But this circle and this circle are the same size, but this method allows the corners to perfectly touch. This method has ever so slight gaps in the edging, which you can cover with walls, by the way. So both of those 2 methods are pretty good. The catwalk method is more for building rounded foundations rather than building circles because it doesn't make a perfect circle, but this one works much better. So okay, I just wanted to go ahead and cover that what we did last time. Spent half the episode building circles and several hours of my time. Is there a way? I wonder if I can. I probably can get that down further. Or get that more centered. Or not more centered, I should say. But, yeah, let's go down. Let's go down 1, but then, like, hold the control key and put it like that. Okay. No. The center of the tree is on that connection point there. You can see the You can see the stick sticking up through, like it's closest to this point here. All right, we'll go down one then. We'll go down one and see how that looks. I thought you knew what you're doing. Eh. But yeah, that's actually pretty well hidden. We didn't need all those connection points anyway. Yeah, I accept that. Okay. All right, we accept that one. Okay, so put that there, and then let's grab ourselves a lift, connect to, and this will save me so much time in the future. Okay, perfect. And we'll leave the foundation there because we're gonna snap it to the side. All right, so we got that connection point there, and I'm gonna go ahead and save this. There we go. Let's save that. Okay. So now what I can do is on each one of these little arms. This is the reason I haven't filled in the gaps in between there yet. Is because on each one of these little arms we're going to put a Ficsmas gift tree. So, yeah, what we can do is place this like this. I think that looks pretty good. We could do this as well. We wanted to kind of tighten it up a little bit. I actually kind of like I like the gap. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 5. Okay, perfect. All right, so then I'm going to go around and I'm just going to place these. And because I put them on a foundation, I can just do this. And it just goes pretty fast. So yeah, we're going to put gift trees all the way around the circle on each one of these arms here. That's going to be a lot of Ficsmas gifts. This is going to be producing way more than we need, but it'll look nice. And that's what matters, right? And then once you get all of the Ficsmas gift trees placed, this is what they all look like. And of course, these Ficsmas gift trees are producing, by the way. I don't know if they have a storage, how big that storage is, if they do or whatever. Not 100% sure about that, but yeah. And since this is the entrance, we're not going to be putting a gift tree here, obviously. But we will go ahead and get down our stuff that we need to get placed down. Which is going to be... let's go ahead and grab architecture. Now, me personally, I do like the modern railing, but the modern railing doesn't really have that detail that I'm looking for. So I'm going to go with the industrial railing for this particular build. So what I'm thinking, I actually might grab myself one of these. Oh yeah, I remember this now. Okay. That doesn't work, does it? Could do that. It doesn't really work to what I want. It'll be a pain in the butt, but if I can get them placed just right. Something like that, maybe? Because I want this, I don't know, actually. I don't know what I want, specifically. Whatever. Let's just go ahead and put down our railings. So we got our modern railing here. We're going to put, obviously we're going to put modern railings like that, but I'm also going to put them, I want to put them like this. So that you have the colored railing on the inside as well. Maybe not. Yeah, you can't do that. Man. I'm sure we actually can. We do it like this. We might have to make it into a blueprint so we can just place it. Okay. Yeah, there is a way you can do this. Right. I did have to remove my blueprinter. Whoops. So when it comes to railing and trying to overlap them, especially with like the barriers and stuff, there is a way to do it. So we're going to go architecture. We're going to grab ourselves our railing that we want to use. Yeah, I think I'll make this into a blueprint, and I'll even paint it and everything, so it's nice. So we'll do a railing like that, and then we're going to do a railing like that. Now, however, it does say we can't build there. But there's a little bit of a trick, a little bit of, I guess you probably call it a bug in the game, but if you place the railing on the edge here, and then you drag it, you can see, identical building is already there. But if we go one extra, that allows me to place the railing on both sides and occupy the same space. And that's actually how you do the barriers too. So if you look really close at the barriers, I had like a modern catwalk railing inside there. But yeah, that's the same deal here. If you try to put this on top of it, you say, identical building is already built there. However, if you take your modern railing, you want to make sure you're in the you're going to overlap it perfectly. So we put it here, and then we drag it. Identical building is already built there, but yeah, and then you just remove the extra railings, and you can also paint it too. You don't have to have it painted before you place it. So yeah, just nice little trick there. That allows me to build this as well. So what I want is green on one side, and I want red on the other. And basically what this is going to do is, on the right side you're going to have green, and on the left side you're going to have red. So that will work there. Yeah, that should work. Okay. And we could also rotate it too if we want to swap those two around. So we're going to put Ficsmas railing. Okay. Right there, and this railing here. Now this will only work if we want sloped ones. We'll have to make a separate blueprint, unfortunately. But that's okay. So then we can get rid of all this railing, because I guess we could build the entire thing into a blueprint. You know what? Yeah. We'll build the entire thing into a blueprint. So yeah, that's actually pretty easy to do. We just take our blueprint that we've already made, and we go ahead and place it like this. So basically we have a green path and a red path, essentially. Which is actually really nice. And to add a bit of complexity to it, let's go ahead and add a light pole in the middle, as well as grab ourselves the thing here. Oh, that's right, you can't do that anymore. These used to get reefs on them. We're actually going to complicate that. So we're going to grab ourselves a wall here. Identical building is already built there. Okay, so we can just take our trick. I might have to move this. Okay, it doesn't want to work with the wall. That's okay. That's okay, actually. Just do it this way. We just nudge it into place. Okay, so then we'll go ahead and do this. Like that. And then put that on this side as well. Because obviously you got to have it on both sides. Actually, that looks really good by... yeah, I like that. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful. And of course, what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint this... I'm going to paint it gold. Because it doesn't really have a particular color. But yeah, actually looks really nice. I was thinking, like, could we put a light in there somehow? We'll leave it alone for now. So yeah, then we go ahead and save that. save this as 2. So we have the normal Ficsmas railing, which allows us to place just individual ones. And then we have the full foundation one, which allows us to put that in there. So that looks really nice. Plus the green walkway and the red walkway. So you have basically opposite sides. And now we can go ahead and place that down. There is some railings we're going to be removing. There is some railings we're going to be removing, but that's okay. Oh, I completely forgot. Hold on. Should be 6. Yep. We can go ahead and save this as a Ficsmas pole. I'm going to put Mark 3 in there because it's a Mark 3 pole. I like the Mark 3 poles. They do look the best. And they're the tallest, so we can definitely get them lights pretty far away. So now we can place those individual poles and replace all these. Because I completely forgot that, yeah, the poles don't come with a wreath on them anymore. That's from a long time ago. There's a lot of stuff that they've removed that I really wish they'd add back in. Modern railing 2. So then we're just going to follow this foundation because you're not here to see how the sausage is made. You're here to go shopping. That's why you're here, is to go shopping. We will have to remove these. Don't worry, I do got a reference point to put them back, so not a big deal. Make sure to place some green on the right side. Okay. And then here, we're not going to place any railing. Oh, that looks pretty cool. I might remove a few poles. There's a bit too many. There's a bit too many poles in that one. But that's okay. And then this is where I'd go from here to say like here, and then that's where I'd run my power, by the way, to get over to this, to then run power to the rest of the Ficsmas factory, because I pull the power from the Ficsmas skip trees. So because we have a power connector. So basically I'd run my power in here, go inside there, and then go up the bottom, and then go up the center of the tree to connect to everything, and then send that power out, which we're not going to worry about, but yeah, that's usually how I would do it. So then we're going to go ahead and place pattern, or place a bit of a walkway. It's this way, isn't it? I don't know. It's being white. Oh, that's the wrong way. No! Do you have any, like... Wait, is this the right way? I always forget. Other way. And this is going to be... It's actually going to be asphalt, this one. That too. And then... Because we can have like trucks and stuff just running on a path, or like that Fix-It factory carts like racing around. Like that could be pretty funny. Patterns. So this is like catwalk, or not catwalk, a crosswalk thing. Yeah. There we go. Okay, like I said, yeah, we're going to remove like every other pole, maybe. Oh, that worked out perfectly. Nice. You gotta be very careful here. Yeah, that was a bit too many poles. Of course, drag our Christmas lights. Just like that. Down the center. And of course, is that going to give me a Mark III? No. Or Mark III. And then place it on that center wall. So then we can drag it up. And then stick it out a little bit. And close enough. It's touching it. I call that a win. Perfect. There we go. So it's like it's powering the facility, essentially. We can also power it from here too. But that works there. Perfect. Okay, so now we just need to get the rest of the machines in place, essentially, and then we can start getting all the belts hooked up. And now that I got the Ficsmas poles, I can place all the Ficsmas poles and stuff like that. You can also attach the reefs to machines as well, or the Ficsmas decoration. But it's not really all that great, to be honest with you. You can attach it there, and that's it. Just on the front. Like I said, they could definitely do so much more with this. I wish they would. Yeah, you can attach it to that. You can attach it to assemblers. You can attach it to the side of the boxes, at least. But you can't attach it to that. You can't attach it to foundries either. You can attach it here if you like. Cool. You can also attach it over the over the calendar. Put that there. Is there anywhere else that works? It's just those two spots. Oh. You can attach it to the sides of these. You can't attach it to that. You can't attach it to this. No, you can't attach it to the store. Attach it to this. Oh yeah, you can attach it to the drone port. There's some weird stuff. Anyway, and that works for there. But yeah, so now we need to get the machines in place. So I need to get all of the machines from our Ficsmas factory that we calculated for yesterday. I need to get all those machines in place so that we can get started on belting everything. But the machines have to be in place first. And then once the machine's in place and all the belts and stuff are in place as well, then we will move on to filling this in. And then we can work on the logistics floor underneath as well. Alrighty, so that is all the constructors that we are going to need. Of course, I altered the colors on each arm so that we're kind of, producing a bit of extra. Now, there is a little bit weirdness going on here. We do have a few of these machines, some are loose loop, not a lot of them, just a few, just so that we can actually produce the amount needed without having to take up too much space, because obviously with just the constructors, we're roughly a quarter of the way. And we still need to do smelters, foundries, and assemblers as well. So we need to be very careful with our space. However, I will be putting a single space in between here, kind of like this, roughly. But yeah, single space in between there so that I wish I could do that. Actually, no, it wouldn't fit. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Have that, and then this quarter is going to be smelters, and then have another arm. And this quarter is going to be foundries, and then have another arm. And this quarter is going to be, well, we might do that actually. It depends on how much. Oh, geez. It depends on how much space we have, of course. There we go. Okay. Yeah, it depends on how much space we have. I was thinking about this too. I was like, what if we did this? And we did, say, organization. This could be pretty cool. Oh. I mean, it'll work here. It doesn't want me to. It doesn't want me to rotate it though. Yeah, I can't rotate it. That is sad. That'd be pretty cool though. Put some lights to like light up the tree, a bit more, which would be pretty cool. And of course, our power is coming from our outer ring, so I've got our outer ring all the way connected, or connected all the way around. So we've got that. But yeah, this is all the constructors we're going to need. So when I was talking about overclocking stuff, or not overclocking, but summer slooping stuff, is the tree branches are not summer slooped, but we needed a lot. So you need a lot of Ficsmas tree stuff. These are all overclocked, of course. So we're producing 300 of those. We don't necessarily need 300. We need roughly 270. So we're going to be producing a little bit extra on each of these, just so that our machines aren't starving, and the extra is just going to go into storage anyway. So, and then we've got the candy canes. You need a decent amount of candy canes. We have 4 machines here. These candy canes as well, because I didn't want to put down 2 extra machines to take up space. I just went ahead and summer slooped these 2 end machines just to make up for those two. Just to make up for those 2 machines, those 2 extra machines we needed. 1 machine extra for the actual storage, and then we needed like half a machine roughly for the production, so, of other stuff. And then of course we've got the bows here. Now, why do I have so many bow machines? I only needed 2 bow machines, but I didn't want to just take up 2 spaces and then leave a gap. So I went ahead and did 4 bow machines, and that's why none of these are summer slooped. So, and they only make 12.5 per minute, so it's fine. I think we needed like roughly 2 or 2.5 for that. Okay, and then for the actual snow, we needed 3 machines, or actually you need 4 machines to make actual snow for this particular one. 4 machines to make the actual snow, but I took it down to 3 machines, and then summer slooped this end machine so that we're producing a bit extra actual snow, plus whatever's going into this. So, and this is not accounting for just the Wonder Star, by the way. This is accounting for the 3 fireworks as well. So I want 1 machine making each firework, because those are obviously an end goal thing. There's actually, what's really funny is I wanted to look at some of this. So let's look at, Ficsmas actual snow. Oh, that's the alternates that they were talking about. Okay. Yeah, see, there's not an alternate for that. There's not for that either. Yeah, the fireworks that weren't unlocked. Yeah. That makes sense now, because these recipes were not unlocked until yesterday. So yeah, we had some alternates that the bows and stuff went into, and I was wondering the other day what those were, because this event only comes out once a year, so I forget it every year what the alternates are. So, or not what it's used in, and what it's also used in, and those will be coming up question marks until you unlock the fireworks, which I believe is the final. Was that the final thing, number 25? It was the fireworks that unlocked it for us. Something like that. Yeah, I think what I might do is I actually might go ahead and put an arm in that looks like this. Put an arm in that goes across here and basically cuts off the constructors from the smelters, and that will make stuff so much nicer looking, and then we'll have just a bit of extra space in between, so it's kind of like just a breakaway essentially. I will need to figure out which one that is, of course. Let's go ahead and go vertical, then we'll go zoot mode. With that arm. Actually, that works out perfectly, I think. Yeah, so it's this arm here. Okay, I was thinking it's the one next to it, but then again, I was just being stupid. Yeah, so it is this arm that is the one for that walkway. Okay, perfect. All right, we won't put a break in the tree, but we can definitely back over to our blueprints and put down a walkway. Is it green? Is it green on the right, red on the left? Yes. Cool. That works for that. And then, yeah, we'll just... We can't put a break in the building, unfortunately. But we can definitely have this. Just like that. I will have to... That does make me have to remove these. But that actually works out perfectly for this, because then that looks exactly like the other side does. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll put the brakes in first, and then I'll try to maneuver the machines and try to get the machines in place for those. Now the smelters, we don't need as many smelters as we need the constructors, so I'm going to space them out a bit. Because we need, I think we needed roughly 10 smelters of each. I haven't really got that all calculated out yet, but this does seem to be working out quite nicely. So, and the reason that this is working out so nicely is because I have built a bigger circle than I've done before. This is actually the biggest Ficsmas factory I've actually made in this style. Which is this big circle. So anyway, yeah, let me put the brake in there, and then I'll get the I'll put all the brakes in there, and then I'll get the assemblers going, and then we'll figure out the boundaries after that. You know, this might be a three-parter because of how long this is already taking. So yeah, I think I was gonna do 2 parts and then have it done today, but unfortunately, yeah, it's taking way too long, and it is, well, technically it's still Christmas for me. Everybody else, the Christmas would have ended, but yeah, so we'll do the logistics tomorrow. I think is probably a good way of doing it. But yeah, we've gotten quite a bit far ways today. We're gonna keep going, of course. So next we need to do the smelters. So if you're wondering what these are set at, so these are set at, we needed 10 machines doing blue ornaments, which they make 25 per minute, because you need there was 225 was the number. So that would be 10 machines. However, I only have slots for 8 machines, so I went ahead and summer slooped this one to get the extra out of those two. So that way we have the extra for those, which works pretty darn well. We won't be making any extra blue ornaments, unfortunately, just because of that. Actually, you know what? Yes. And there. Yes, now we'll be making extra. Okay. We're making what? 50 extra? Okay, perfect. Sorry, I don't know why I didn't think about that. I was like, oh, I only need 1 extra machine. No, you actually needed 2 extra machines, plus the 1 extra machine to actually make blue ornaments that go into the storage. So, or enough to make it so that it does have enough to go into the storage. So that works there. So there we go. We got 12 machines here making blue ornaments. Now over here, red ornaments really suck, and I hate red ornaments because of the low number. The low number only makes 12.5 per minute, and for this build we needed 150. So we needed 12.5 machines just to be able to make that happen at fully overclock speed. So we've got 12 machines, and then what I went ahead and did is I summer slooped this one to get that extra machine, and then these two are also summer slooped just to make roughly 50 or so. I don't have the exact number, but that'll make a little bit extra just to be able to go into that storage. All right, and then moving on to the next one, this is going to be iron and copper. So you need 225 iron because you need the same amount of iron as you need blue, and you need the same amount of copper as you need red. So just keep that in mind. It's pretty easy math, actually. But yeah, these ones don't even have to be fully overclocked. This one, doing 60 on each of these 4 machines is making more than we need. So 60, 120, and then 240 with the other 2 machines. So 240, and we need a 225. So we're making a little bit extra, and that just keeps the belts full. That's See, if you're not familiar with the way I play the game, is I always play the game to where I'm making slightly more than I need. Even though it's on belts, I could do the exact math, I just choose not to. Because for me, I like seeing full belts. I like seeing belts that are completely stocked full, and I like seeing the machines turn off because they are full, because they can't output anymore. Because my personal opinion, I always say that machines backing up is always better than machines starving. Obviously, we could do the exact numbers and we could have the machines going constantly 100% fully of the time. But honestly, there's no need for that for me. So, yeah, my personal way of playing is I always like to make a little bit extra. And that especially is true with the liquids because you almost have to. There's almost no situation where you're mining up 300 or you're taking up 300 oil per minute out of the ground and then you're using exactly 300 and there's nothing wrong with that system. You always need a slight bit of overhead to make that system work properly because that's just the way the stuff works. So I'm actually going to go ahead and put this in here just to get rid of it out of my inventory. Because I just, for some reason, had a bit of iron and a bit of copper. Can't have that. And that'll be okay. And you can have that too. So we're going to need to belt iron and copper up here as well. Now, we don't need more than, we barely need any just for this particular build. But there we go. So we've got the copper and iron ready to go. And the copper is even less. We needed 150. I hate the fly mode. Okay, so we only needed 45 per machine. Actually, we need less than that, but 45 per machine takes you up to 180, and we needed 150. So we're making slightly more than we need, which is fine. Again, that is perfectly fine. So we got the iron and copper. So we've got all of the smelters that we need for the entire build in this one quadrant. So this quadrant is going to be all smelters. Now we're going to need a decent amount of smelters for this. I was looking at it without overclocking. We're going to need 15 smelters per, or 15 smelters. Sorry, foundries. By the way, that's what I mean. So yeah, like I said, this is going to be the foundries quadrant, and then this one's going to be the assemblers quadrant. And the bad thing is, when it comes to this, to the assemblers, the foundries, we can't put the foundries as close as we want. So we're going to have to find a close enough spot where they don't overlap. And it's probably going to be, if I had to guess, it's probably going to be here. Okay, because the foundries are a bit bigger. I really, really wish they would go back in and remove, or not remove, but more or less soften up some of the requirements, or some of the overlapping. Because look, these two are only overlapping because of the bounding box. They're not overlapping because of the machine itself. So why can't I place that there? You know what I mean? Like, it makes no damn sense I can't place that there. I could try making a blueprint, but I doubt it'd work. But yeah, it just makes no sense why I can't place this here. That restriction is way too restrictive, and it's really prevalent on the foundries because the foundries bounding box is way bigger than it needs to be. And I say way bigger, I'm being dramatic, but you know what I mean. Like, it just makes no sense to me, anyway. So yeah, the closest we can get, I'm probably just gonna go here. Let's see, where's the center of the foundation? So there. All right, so without them touching, yeah, so this is about the closest you can get. You probably go one more, and it probably would let you, but we're gonna go here. So we're gonna be building in threes, essentially, which is pretty sad. I would have really loved to have the foundries actually be, but luckily we're only producing two products. We're gonna be producing iron and copper, or iron and copper, or gold and silver. And this is backwards, by the way. Oopsie. Is that still the center? That is no longer the center of the foundation. Okay. So it doesn't need to be one forward. I always like to be the center of the foundation there. Yeah, so you can go one more. Oh, damn it! Stop auto-rotating. Driving me insane over here. I hate that auto-rotate. Drives me up the wall. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, we don't really need all this space, so what I might do is I might space them out and give them a bit more room than I would normally would for this particular build. Like, I might even scooch them back to this foundation and then of the next set on this foundation and then the next set on this foundation, kind of like what the smelters are. I don't know, I'll work out a layout, but yeah, that's pretty much the two we're going to be making there for this quadrant anyway. All right, let's do it. Alrighty, yeah, this is taking way longer than I wanted to, but I have all of the foundries in place. So we've got all of the iron bottles or the silver ones, and then all of the copper ones or the gold ones, depending on how you want to reset. To be honest, I think these should have required Caterium, not copper. I think that would have been a bit better. That would have made a little bit more sense, but you know, it is what it is. But yeah, so we've got 9 of each, and we've actually got these underclocked because we need 15 machines without clocking at all. And when you fully overclock it, you only need 6. So then we put a 7th machine in to produce, or Summers loop one of them to produce that extra machine of what we need just to be able to put some into storage as well. I decided to underclock it because we have so much space, and this is the only thing you need foundries for as far as the Ficsmas factory goes, is the silver and the gold baubles, or the iron and copper, or whatever you want to put that. Because then you take the baubles plus, or sorry, you take the you take the 2 baubles together in an assembler, and that makes you your Ficsmas bundle. And then you take that Ficsmas bundle and so on. So yeah, this one is going to be interesting to space out because we don't really need a whole lot of assemblers. We really don't. The most assemblers we're going to need is more than likely going to be, if I had to guess, is going to be the ornament bundle. If I look here. Actually, no. Yes, the ornament bundle is going to be the most. We need to produce 75 ornament bundles per. So that is going to be that. But yeah, we're almost done here, and I think, like I said, we are going to do the logistics tomorrow. We'll do all the belt work, and hopefully be closing out, because we don't really have a whole lot extra to build, as far as like the way the pretty looks. But like I said, I did want to go ahead and do the one thing that you can't do unless you have what's called Flex Splines mod. So if you look up Flex Splines, it's by r.AOGlobalDistanceField, I believe is how you pronounce their name. But yeah, r.AOGlobalDistanceField makes this mod called Flex Splines, and this removes the limitations on belts, pipes, hyper tubes, train lines, and even power cables. So I can actually give you an example here. So let's say I didn't have the mod on, of course. Let's go ahead and put down a power tower. We need to bring some power a long distance. Right, so there's our power tower, right? I call it a power tower. I mean, they call it a power tower, but whatever. I also do that because that made so much sense. Let's say I need to bring power all the way over there. I'd be able to take this and probably go... yeah, there is the distance right there. Actually, I don't know why my oh, does it not work with? No, it does work with these. I have done it before. Did I have that mod on? Did I accidentally turn off that mod? Yeah, so there's your distance. Okay. And obviously when it comes to cables, I thought this also removed the cable limit too. Yeah, I mean they did increase the length of it, but there's the length of like normal stuff. So and we're going to be using the normal one, so that is roughly that there. And you can see as well, it does if you make it with the Ficsmas lights, it will make that, which is really cool. So the thing I'm going to want to do here is I'm not going to be able to do it. Um, actually, I'm not going to be able to do it with the tree in the way. I'm going to have to remove the tree and then put the tree back. But yeah, basically what I want to do is I want to connect this and go all the way. We're going to connect it to, yeah, we're going to try and connect it there. But as you can see, wire is too long. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to place that. But I thought, pretty sure I have that mod on still. Yeah. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to make that work. And I was correct with the mod. So the reason this doesn't work, and I'll show you guys again. Just real quick, like, let's go ahead and put actually, let's just put down a pole. So this is the maximum length that you can go with any given power cable, with just from pole to pole, or from wall connector to wall connector to pole, whatever you like, right? However, the flex splines mod does give us the ability to build the wires longer. It does not include Ficsmas lights, unfortunately. So yeah, let's go ahead and put down another pole, right? So just to make it fair, we'll put the poles next to each other. Now, if I build with regular cable, go all the way over. Okay, so this was the maximum distance, right? That was the maximum distance that allowed us for the normal cable. However, hold on. Yeah, so the flex splines mod. Now, there's a bit of a thing to this as well, a bit of a bug, I guess you could say, is after a while the power lines won't render anymore. There's a certain point where, like, if you go too long, they just won't render. But yeah, we can place this. So I have to go to the old-fashioned solution of making infinite cables. It has been a little bit since I've had to do this. Because, well, I had the, when we're playing on Doc's server, we have the Flex Splines mod, which allows us to build cables. As long as we freaking want. So then you're probably wondering, okay, so you're probably wondering how I managed this. Okay, so with this particular connector, this is the maximum that you can go with it in the normal game. Okay, so you will be able to, so you know how we got this circle here? Oops. Damn it. The maximum circle that we made, which is this point right here, you can see that the cable just about exceeds that, and that's about it, right? So that's as far as you can go in the normal game. However, you can still go this length without mods. You don't need mods to go this length. Obviously, I can't use the Flex Splines mod to even go the length I want to. Because if I try to connect to that tree, so let's say I want to connect to this tree, right? See, wire's too long. But then I was like, okay, well, what if I just do this? Use the Flex Splines mod. That's going to be an issue. I'm going to have to be very careful to connect to that. So yeah, we can go ahead and connect this, and you see we get the cable just fine from the Flex Splines mod. That is just fine. However, if I try to upgrade that or try to change this to the Ficsmas site, the wire is too long, unfortunately, as you can see with both of those. And now I got to fix that. That is actually a major issue, because now I'm going to have to... Can I grab the pole? I don't know if I'm going to be able to grab the pole without removing the tree. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to grab the pole without removing that tree. We can just remove the whole damn blueprint. So yeah, it's going to be an issue. I could do another wall connector, I suppose. But it's just going to be complicated enough as it is. So let's go ahead and put that back. So I'm just going to go ahead and ignore the fact that I'm going to have to put poles inside of each one of these trees. So you're just like, well, how do you make that longer? That cable longer? How do you make those infinite? Or basically make those, how do you make those cables as long as you want them to be? There's a nice little trick we can go ahead and do. So we're going to grab ourselves our Ficsmas power light and make sure we don't switch the cable by accident and screw it all up. And what you're going to do is you're going to go roughly as far as you would normally go, or as far as the game allows you to go. So we'll just go here and go ahead and place it in. That's as far as we can go with our current Ficsmas light. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab myself a power pole, Mark II, Mark III. It doesn't really matter, just whatever you can afford, really. Or whatever you're willing to afford, I suppose, is another way to put it. We're going to go ahead and go Mark III just so it matches the other. We could go upgrade it to Mark II and then go back to Mark I. That also works because Mark I, it's all the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab out a Mark III pole because I want this to be. I'm actually going to grab this one because I want it to be. I want it to be gold. But what you're going to do is don't click anything, okay? Don't click anything. Just grab your mark whatever pole you want to change this. You basically are going to change this pole here. And you can see how it goes to replace it, right? What you're going to do from there is don't click it. Hit the H key to lock it in. So now we have locked in that pole. So then what we can do is we can go ahead and nudge this. And you can see the pole is gone from that connector. And this is how you do it in the vanilla game. And then, of course, we want to nudge it up to match the wall connector that's built into there, and then plates. And now you can see we have Ficsmas light from there to there, going as long as we needed it to go. Unfortunately, with this method, I don't know if you really get the drooping. You might get it to droop a little bit if you save and reload the game. At least how it used to be. A long time ago, you used to get these cables. Like there was a bug where you place the cables and the cables would be stretched as, like they're stretched as tight, as taut as they could be. And then you would save and reload the game and then the cables would slack back out. Don't do that in real life. That's not how that works in real life. But anyway, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from here and I'm going to connect each one of these. Now this is going to take a while because you see how many gift trees I have to make. But we're basically going to be making that as well. So that's kind of the modded thing that I was telling you guys about that we were going to be doing using the mods. But since we can't use the mods, I did not know that. I just figured it was going to work just like the regular cables do. Since we can't use the mod, then we'll use the vanilla solution, which is actually good because then that allows you guys to build these as well. And not have to worry about, well, I need the mod to be able to do that. So nope, you don't need the mod to make these cables that long. And honestly, I didn't even think about that method until I couldn't make my my lights. And I was just like, I wonder if that method would work on, since it's clearly using the vanilla link. I wonder if that method would work on using the vanilla method would work on this as well. So anyway. I'm going to go ahead and put down my machines and then get these cables in place. I'm going to save every now and again because doing this can possibly crash your game with the Ficsmas. I just had it happen while I was testing it out. It just crashed my game. Luckily, I had saved before I did that. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Alrighty then, and finally got all of those cables in place, as well as we do have all of the machines needed to produce the rest of the stuff. So over here, I actually had to somersault this because I would have ran out of room because the assemblers are just so big. I could possibly fit 3 in a line. They would have been really butted up against each other, so it would have been crazy. And this is the closest they can be without overlapping, by the way. A lot closer than the foundries over there. I forgot to put the signs on these. Oh well. So we got the assortment, the sorry, the ornament bundles. We've got 4 machines of these. All of them have been summers looped just because I ran out. Like I said, I would have ran out of room if I didn't do that. And then we've got the ornament reefs as well. And you would be like, well, you know, you needed, 8 machines of this in order to produce, or roughly seven machines, I think, is what it was, of these fully overclocked. I don't remember the numbers. I completely just tuned out the numbers. It just went, okay, this is how much I need to produce. This is how many machines I can use, and we're done. It's about as far as it went. But yeah, so then looking at this, we have 4 machines of wreaths, and the wreaths are even worse than the ornament bundles. The wreaths, you need even more machines in order to produce the amount that you need for the wonder stars, because you need 5 per minute. That's fully overclocked, obviously. You need 5 per minute. Sorry. Yeah, you need 5 per minute, and these ones only produce 2 per minute. So you need a lot of machines. These ones at least produce 5 per minute, so that would have been a 1-to-1 ratio if it was that speed. But with it being 2 per minute, it wouldn't have been possible to fit them all in here. But then we've got 2 machines making wonder stars. I did not summer sleep these, although you could, so that we can go from producing 5 per minute to producing 10 per minute. But it's not really necessary. Plus, these are the end line. And then these 3 machines over here on the end, this one's sparkly fireworks, this one's the fancy fireworks, and then this one is the sweet fireworks. So we have everything that you can produce with the Ficsmas factory. All of the machines are in place. I've got all of the lifts and all the floor holes in place as well. As you can see there, we got all of these done. So that's really, really nice. So next time, like I said, this has already gone on long enough. Plus, I didn't expect it to take as long as it did. But with having to use the vanilla trick of making longer power line cables, all of these now have a power pole built into them, which is a little bit weird, I must say. But as long as you don't accidentally click these with the cable, or with the normal cable, then you shouldn't have to worry about them changing or anything like that. And then this particular thing requires, if you're going to do this many Ficsmas gift trees, which even with the normal circle, you will be having the exact same amount that I have here, because I did not add any extra in between. You will need 8 of these. Whoops. I want to do default mode. If I could target it. I don't think I could target it, but you will need 8 of these Mark III wall connectors. So basically, you'll have your first set that's right up against your pole here if you're going to be doing this. And you're going to put the first like 8 or 9 or even 10 roughly, going from this one to halfway through here. Where's the middle ground? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3. So this is the middle ground here. And then from the middle ground, then you're going to switch over to this one, and you're going to do from that half, or sorry, that 8th to this 8th. So 1 8th, 2 8th, and 3 and 4, and so on. So yeah, once you've got that half done and this half done, then what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and take yourself a I was able to target that time. You're going to go ahead and take yourself a Mark III, and you're going to place it back on your pole, and you're going to go up to you're going to go up to the level. Now I do have infinite nudge on at the moment, so I was able to get these a little bit closer, but it'll still look just fine. So when you nudge it, it's going to be like that. It's going to be that far off from the normal connector, but you want these roughly at the same height, if not at the exact same height if you can, like we've done here. And because I've got infinite nudge on, I was able to nudge it a little bit closer, but this is where your connector would be. I'm not going to place it, but that's where your connector would normally be with the normal game, because it would nudge half a meter, which that's what that is. So from this connector to this connector, that's half a meter. with your holding control or whatever it is. So yeah, you can get these pretty darn close. These ones you can get even closer, obviously, like I said, with infinite nudge, but it'll look the same. You're not going to notice the difference from way out here. You would only notice the difference if you're inside the tree looking at it. But if you look down, you can actually see the X there, and you can see they're all spaced out exactly where they need to be. So now that we've got that all in place, and that's how I've done the connectors. I thought that's how I did the connectors as well. When I was getting ready to start placing them, I'm like, I'm going to have to put connectors over the top of these other connectors. I might as well put them in the exact same level. And that's like, oh, I probably did that before. Then you go ahead and put your Ficsmas tree back in place. Obviously, we'll have to... I can't see. Oh, there we go. I'll have to hit the H key to make sure it's in the center, which it is. Okay. Then we can go ahead and place our Ficsmas skip tree. Or Ficsmas big tree. Yeah. You know, the big tree. Which that is what it looks like. So yeah, that is one of the things. So now we're going to do something that you can only do with mods. And this is where the infinite nudge, this is the reason I have it installed, by the way, that I just installed this mod is, we're going to use the infinite nudge to make this tree a bit better. Because obviously the tree is a bit small, it's a bit scrawny. And we're going to nudge it down as well. A bit, I think. I don't know how I'm going to do it. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're actually going to increase the scale. So using the bracket keys, if you have infinite nudge installed, you can go and make this tree as big as you want. Now, obviously, if we really wanted to, that's a bit too big. I want the lines can go there. Obviously, that's a bit too big for the tree. But it still looks okay, I suppose. And we can... I don't know if that's going to let us. Oh, you know why? It's probably because of that thing. We could put the tree... Well, let's just place it without nudging it downwards. See what it looks like. Yeah, we'd have to nudge the presents down so that they kind of melded in a little bit better. But yeah, and with a big tree, maybe the scale's a bit too big. Let's oops, wow, that was really tiny. Let's go ahead and put it back in place. There we go. And let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. That way it's not too big. Now obviously if I wanted to work with this scale, I'd have to redo all of my all my cables. So yeah, that's not too bad. And then let's go Control L. And let's turn it to nighttime. Let's go midnight roughly. Where is it the darkest? It's like I think the darkest is right when the moon's rising, because you can see it more when it's roughly here, like just after sunset. But yeah, there you go. And now you can see that these have lights. You can see it going all the way around, of course. And of course, if you touch something, you immediately start falling. Right, let's put this tree back. And I'm going to go 1, 2. That's all I'm going to scale it. Okay. That's all I'll scale it. Actually, that might even be too big. Okay, we won't scale it at all. Let's see what it looks like unscaled at nighttime here. And then we might have to... Where's the entrance? We might have to rotate the tree. No, the tree's good. So yeah, that's basically what it looks like. You don't want to go too high up on it because then, like I said, you'll see the or like I was saying when we first started doing this, you'll see the power connectors are way too obvious. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Yeah, there's your basically your Ficsmas factory, just without all the logistics. We'll get those logistics done next time. But for now, though, I think we're going to go ahead and leave it here. With the, with all the lights and all the machines in place, and we'll do the logistics next time, which seems pretty good. I don't know what next time's going to be. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow or not. We might want to, we may want to play something else, but with as much work as we put in today, that's actually pretty nice. And I do like this, I do like how the lights have like, they like, droop down or I guess connect to all of the Ficsmas gift trees. I think that's pretty cool. And it makes it look nice, especially at nighttime. Makes it look really nice. These are not giving off as much light as I would want them to. But that's okay. But anyway, with that though, like I said, hopefully y'all had yourselves a great holiday season, and that's going to be it for this one. So I do hope you enjoyed. Oh, and before you go, I'd like to give a huge shout out and thank you to all of the investors you can see on your screen right now. Seriously, thank you. You guys are awesome. It is much appreciated. And until next time, I guess it's a goodbye.